like to call the October 15th meeting of the Lane Transit District Board of Directors to order. And we'll start with roll call. Let me start with Pete. Here. Heather. Here. Lawrence.
Here.
Gino.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Okay, hearing no comments, we're going to close the public comment. And now I'm going to move to board reports, and I'd like to invite the directors to share their updates. So, shall we just go first with the Lane Council of Governments that repeat? Nothing report. And the Metropolitan Committee, there's really nothing to report there either. You want to comment on that? I think.
Basically, going through the process of finishing up the visual presentation plan, and expecting the full plan to be brought months.
Then we'll have to start meeting first. And the Lane.
Done last week, the meetings have moved to every other month, with Jameson is our vice chair. So,
yeah, not much that pertains to us except for the meetings, like chair, vice chair. So, there is a chair, vice chair in October.
Thank you. And the strategic planning committee.
Nothing to report.
And the bylaws, I think that's to come.
yes, Jameson and I are meeting in a couple weeks in advance of that, and then I think we're going to start only in November.
So before the end of the year.
Correct. I'd like to have all the work completed. Right. So I think that'll be best.
Okay. And Jameson, I'll send it to you for the CEO report.
We start off with the employee of the month. So employee of the month with Sam Russell. Facilities. You may, I don't know if you've met Sam.
But people back. Mike, with Ron being the employee of the month. Mike came in, volunteered his time to come in on weekend at midnight to help with one of the electrical shutdowns for Operations Command Center project. Just now. So Mike came in and made sure that everything went well with that shutdown. All of our came back online, functional, and then for our next day of service. And then later that day, after being up in the middle of the night, Mike got a call from one of his coworkers who was called in on an emergency. And he volunteered to come back again to help his coworker. And that great thing. When it takes care of his coworkers, wait,
Do you have anything?
No.
Roll call.
I'm gonna put one of those.
Mike, Mike's one of the nicest people. His wife works with. She too. You recall not this last informal employee, but one previous, we ran out of forks. Remember the 4 days ago? Mike was able to craft a fork. While we were searching for forks, Mike, no. So, very long. To draw your attention to the monthly operations report, I just wanted to highlight just a few things for you. We're continuing to track ridership. Overall, ridership is down 3.3% over the rolling 12-year period. But if you look deeper, you'll see that MX is down 7.7% this time period. We've added more service overall. So we're kind of upside down. So we're looking to see why that might happen. We don't have our finger on it at this point, but there could be construction events. It could be that special event numbers were down, fewer events in 25 compared to 24. It also could be partially to the ongoing validators. They're checking. So we'll keep our eye on that. We're going to try to ascertain on a deeper level as we go studies like that. So it can also be that the students have moved closer to campus as well. So we'll keep our eye on that. I'd also like to point out that mobility services, this is the area John Allen runs, that we get so many good stories about. So we just got one last night at the event. That is up 4.2%. Ridership, we're still under budget. The dynamic within that service is mental service. We're tracking and sorting specific source controlling, making sure that we're able to still manage that service and what those impacts to us. We don't that. So with that, I'll see if there's questions. Monthly department reports. Just want to pull 2 things out of that. It's not in the presentation tonight. One, we just did a tour of the operations command center. That's coming in on time with the budget. Last year we completed the station modernization. That came on time with the budget. We are going to modernize the board itself, so we'll begin that construction. We're set that we've done already. It's going to be delayed for various reasons, so that not be the time. But it will be on budget. But it looks like that will be done sometime. So most likely it's as well. The 8-day basically has been brought together. Shoestring very productive. So address that. And then I'd also like to point out something exciting that's not very deeper into the report is in the mobility management section. You'll see that LTD, Benton County Transit, and North County Transit have applied for and received funding for a pilot service that will connect Junction City to So we're working on collaboration schedules and Junction City. It's ironic the conversation last night was about not being able to get from Junction City to Harrisburg. So we're already thinking back to so I want to share those 2 things. Any questions from the rest of you?
How long is the program?
The time frame on the this is a 1-year pilot for the Benton County. in the development services report, it talks about the equitable engagement compensation policy. Have we implemented that? We have not. We've used it, so we've used portions of that when we did the COVID project. We want to make sure that folks can participate in the job. So we want to codify that. So we'll be bringing the policy. Okay, great. I think it's an interesting approach. Thank you. It's other agencies cabinet people, Mr. Blackbar Riders. Any questions? All right. Well, let's there we go. So battery electric bus, come back to this. We are still in discussions with to transfer 19 of our battery electric buses to Los Angeles in time for the Olympics. Soliciting buses nationwide. Interestingly, the challenges that we have with these buses, they are now on recall. We can't charge them beyond 75%, or they risk having permanent impact. So that's led to some challenges. Scheduling, there's already challenges with the range. Certainly with the battery at 75%, the range drops even less. So that's the one. But this kind of highlights what we were dealing with these vehicles. It's not like when you get a check engine light, you go get it diagnosed quickly. We have to wait for the manufacturer to tell us what the issue is. So we got the notice from the manufacturer, and then Federal Transit Administration put out notice. So that continues. I want to share that with you. Some challenges. Mike, do you have a timeline when we should expect that?
Yeah, and I would add one thing, is specific to a particular type of battery. So it's not every new Flyer bus, it happens to be every new Flyer battery bus that we have. You may hear Spokane buses doing fine, same model bus, different battery manufacturers. So new Flyer is going to depend on battery manufacturers from fix they have on top.
Will the tariffs affect that at all?
Yes. New Flyers made in America.
Batteries?
So the car into the industry.
Stay tuned. System review, final implementation progress. Good evening, Hawks and members of the board, Dave Roth. So, if you'll recall, about a year ago, I was here with the consulting team who helped us develop this final report recommendations, and the recommendations in the report were adopted at that point, so we quickly got to work implementing. So you'll see in the packet, the agenda item summary provides 1-year progress report on those changes in fine level of detail, so you can really see where we made service and modified routes. Most of the route modifications were fairly minor up until fall of this year. We did introduce 3 changes that were a little bit more significant, and those were on Route 36, 41, and then the new downtown. As it notes here, we implemented these at each of our service change intervals. So that's fall 4, winter 25, summer 25, now fall. Route 36 was extended to serve new housing, multiple housing. And just looking at some preliminary numbers, we are seeing people use the new route. It's not huge numbers at this point, but people are using it. It's fantastic. We'll continue to monitor that and consider what kind of marketing we might do to try to our ridership, but positive so far. Route 41, it's like to change that route to move from Danabo and on Wilson to get a little closer to some multifamily and housing that's out there. And then finally, the last one that I wanted to talk about was the downtown loop. This is a partnership between LTD and CG, where we're using discretionary funding to run a 2-year pilot service. And so far, we're getting really great feedback, and ridership is really meeting our expectations. And just along those lines, I just want to share some comments here, customer comments that really I'll share with you on the downtown loop. First, customer said that he and many of the people that live in Polo Terrace are very excited about the new number 1 route. He said now he can go to his bank, pick up a prescription, and go shopping just on one bus. He's very thankful for all the change. Next one here is just wanted to let you know that I love the new downtown loop route. It gets me the Safeway to downtown from the main post office. I hope you can make it a permanent route, not cancel it. And finally, I really like downtown. So really good feedback so far, both from customers and from our
What type of vehicle?
It's one good bus. I think we're swapping it out, so I don't know exactly. I think sometimes we have buses. The nice thing about that loop blocking is that we can't just run a single bus sort of over and over. This is a little bit of a departure for typically they're operating from interlining, so they're running a bunch of different routes throughout the day. But on this one, it's set up, it's the same operator running routes. It's a little bit of a departure, but so far we're in good feedback, and it does give operators a chance to problems. Yeah. Exciting news from my parents. We launched our new website, Table One. So we'll walk through some key comments.
Evening, everyone. Our site's our marketing. So yeah, this project is a long time coming. We have produced our website for about 10 years, which is a very long time in the world of technology. A lot's changed since then, especially when it comes to accessibility standards. A lot of need for us to just improve the website to ensure it's accessible and ensure that it's open. And this work started before I started this position. Really kicked off in January. Huge thank you to Haley Pratt, especially visual marketing specialists, who spent a lot of time and energy to get it to this point where we launched this website on October 1st. That included consolidating 300 plus pages of content down to about 100 pages, so making all user-friendly, easy-to-find information, and editing about 65,000 words, which is tremendous amount of work into this. So I'll give just a quick overview of some new features. So we moved some trip planning information, so it's more fun on the website. So that's right at the screen. It's all right information. So the first tab has a trip question. You can start to start resource site, but it's more off to the side, so hard to find. The next tab has service links. So it moves that feature information or runs their strategic riders as well. The next right tab, riders can stop and will provide the next several times the bus will be available that information. And then route information is also available so riders can access specific routes if they want to. Here's an example of a route page. One important improvement is that real-time map information is back on the website. This unfortunately had been
malfunction on the previous website, so that's back on each route page, and then we reformatted route information. So route information looks a little different from our route feedback online to see the changes. So, the goal is to have a more intuitive user interface. We also want to have plans for projects. We also really wanted to use the website as a tool to increase transparency and shed some light on the work that LTD does. So we completely reimagined the plans for projects page. In the past, this was more just a long list of text and links. So we consolidated into more of a blog format. So we have some future projects as well as projects archives so that the community can really see some of the short-term and long-term work of LTD's application. Easily able to identify the status of this project, whether it's an ongoing project, past project, and future project. And each page has a bit of information about each of those issues. Have you answered any questions?
Could you walk through how you get to the board?
Sure. So underneath About Us, there's public meetings.
It's
So if you're on the homepage, you click on About Us, click down, click on that, it will take you to all the meetings and copy.
thank you. For some reason that difficult. What's that?
You want to remember it.
Yeah, it's interesting that coming from a website we had for so long that it's like moving around. So it's not necessarily better or worse, but it's just different, and that people also are definitely very interested.
It'd be interesting to watch the statistics and see, number of people accessing the agendas has dropped significantly because of the change. Absolutely, to rethink that. And I believe that right focus that the first thing you should see is what you as a user of the system needs to address. It's the primary focus. It's the watching. See if other people are getting lost.
Yeah, one important feature on the homepage is that we have more real estate available to us so that we can feature content in different ways. In the past, we just had that primary section at the top where we have a few feature stories. If you scroll down, it's a long scroll. So we have additional opportunities to tailor this content based on the feedback. So if we identify a challenge or access and some information, we can pull it into some of these feature conversations to people these things.
Great work.
What's the feedback from the public, or has it been much more reaction? You sent out some website.
Yeah, we've received some feedback. We've had about 30 customer requests, which is understandable given that it's a big shift from what we had previously. In the grand scheme of things, in terms of percentage of overall website traffic, that's also pretty small. So it's kind of within the scope of changes. Yeah, we haven't done those questions yet, just because it's down. But we are definitely going to look at overall website traffic, time on page, some of those key metrics to see is this working for people. And one nice thing about this platform is that we're really easily able to adapt and make changes. We've made a number of changes just in the past week based on the feedback we've received. Whereas our previous platform was really rich to allow us to adapt.
Thank you.
That was your State of the district. We think about staff put a lot of work into it. They had more time to prepare this year than last year. Attendance was right about the same, maybe a little lower this year. And we had some folks attend who have questions around the service we provide generally. So that was nice to have a conversation where there was some explains and questions from the public about the value of public transportation as well as those comments. We're going to keep doing this transparency. It will change back over time. I'm not sure what next year looks like, but we think that it's a real good opportunity for us to talk about what we're up to. By the time we do it next year, we'll be turning down the road on can studies and engagement with communities. We'll know more about how downtown Live is running. Obviously, the service is running that we've extended to connect the housing the western part of our service area. So we'll be able to speak to those results as well as green. So I don't know if you all have feedback. We're going to continue to engage.
I thought it was great. Last year was pretty hard to beat, but I think this year sort of made it seem this is just regular. This is what I think is doing. I was impressed at the number of elected officials and were able to hear what he's doing and to engage them. I think that's an important constituency. So I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's been transportation's been on people's minds. Package, what's going on with every problem. So we were excited to see the turnout. There's also Congresswoman as well. So we're happy to do that. Look forward to continuing. So having further thoughts on how we move forward. Happy to do that as well. All right, the CEO review process and timeline. I'll turn it over to Christy to speak.
Sure. So we are starting the process again. I think all of you have a few years of experience with the same process. So we're at the beginning where Jameson is close to completing his self-evaluation. And then my office will be sending to all of you an evaluation form pretty soon. There's a due date on there, and we'll remind you of this in email. You guys will get the evaluation form by October 22nd. We'll probably send it sooner than that. And it's due to my office by November 5th. It really does help to be completed by then because we compile it. So we provide a summary. Your comments aren't linked to your name. They're all comments without a name on it. And it just helps if we have that time to be completed by the 5th because then we can give it to you in advance of the executive session, and it'll be so we'll be hearing from my office soon, and then in November we'll have the executive session where the board does Jameson's evaluation, and you'll come into the public session summarizing that evaluation. And I'll remind you of this in November, but then we make a motion for the president and vice president to negotiate the contract. So more to come, and that'll come through my office primarily, and we're in good time for November.
Any questions? No. Are there any other questions on reports? Not finance.
Thank you. You notice on page 31, you see a financial report that is, you notice it is stated that in June 30th, see, informal end of the year report. As it gone through the audit, I met with our director of finance this month, and they were in the middle working on the the audit that's coming down in the next months. And already started off this fiscal year. The numbers are really well. So you notice we were pretty much pretty close on to the we were expecting for revenues and expenses, but still a little bit of a deficit. I don't know if they'll come off and wash when the actually do the audit. So, want to come? Thanks for reading questions. Otherwise, turn back to the chair.
Any questions?
Yeah. Yeah, that report is the items. So
Okay. I wanted to say after the state of the district will follow the next week on the best meetings, which also was well attended. I think it was very timely. I also think that LTV was very well. Lots of staff and friends of LTV, so he was proud to be such a strong. And he gave the presentation as well as James. Well done. Okay, on to the consent agenda. Do any of the board members want to remove any? Okay, if there's no objections, we'd like to move to approve the consent agenda.
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Okay. Secondly, James, excuse me. Gino?
Yes.
Susan? Yes. Lawrence?
Aye.
Pete?
Aye.
Kelly?
Yes.
Lane Transit District Board of Directors will now enter executive session pursuant to ORS 192-660-2F, which allows the board to consider information and records that are exempted from public record. And following the executive session, the board will not return to regular session. Designated staff and representatives of the news media may remain in the room, and all members besides that of the public are asked to leave the room at this time.